Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Whitehead here. So lots of you have been asking about information for VE Day, the 75th anniversary, which we are celebrating this Friday. So here's some information I've put together. I have used information on a PowerPoint from Twinkle, but I've moved things around and added things to it. And if you're from Yeadon Westfield Infant School, if you go and take a look on our website, there's loads of information and activities that you can do. So what is VE Day all about? Well, Britain had been at war since September 1939. Cities such as Coventry, London and Plymouth were badly bombed by the enemy. Buildings were destroyed and people were left homeless. So homeless means they didn't have a home to live in anymore. It was usually impossible for soldiers to visit home during the war, and many British soldiers were killed and many more were wounded. The end of the war. By the end of April 1945, the leaders of the countries we were fighting were dead, which meant Great Britain and all the countries on our side had won the war. On 7th of May at 2:41 a.m. in France, Germany surrendered. This meant that the war in Europe was over. So VE Day stands for Victory in Europe Day. And victory means that we have won, and Europe is the continent that we live on. And it was in Europe that lots of the Second World War was fought. VE Day, 75 years. The year 2020 marks 75 years since the first VE Day. On the first VE Day, everyone was so happy that the war was over. Everyone celebrated that all the fighting had stopped in Europe. Here are some pictures of people celebrating. The news spreads. Before long, the exciting news spread that the war in Europe was over. People ran out on the streets to celebrate, and church bells were rung to spread the news. Winston Churchill was in charge, and he said that Victory in Europe Day will be regarded as a holiday from now on. The following day was one of great celebration. The King and the Queen, Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret and Winston Churchill appeared at Buckingham Palace to join in the fun. Communities had street parties and churches held services of thanksgiving. This is Princess Elizabeth, and she was so excited at all the celebrations that she asked her parents if she and her sister might join in. The King and Queen agreed on the condition that they went in a large group of people who would look after them. No one in the crowd that day realised that two princesses were celebrating in their midst. Time to celebrate. People ran out onto the streets, hanging bunting and banners and dancing in celebration. Church bells pealed across the country to share the news. Everyone brought out food to share at street parties. May the 8th was to be a national day of celebration. Victory in Europe Day. The capital city, London, was the place to be on VE Day. Anyone who could reach the city did so. The centre of London was full of people wearing red, white and blue, waving flags, dancing and singing. Fireworks filled the sky with flashes of light. VE Day 2020. To celebrate 75 years since the original VE Day, everyone is celebrating this Friday. And although it's usually on a Monday, This year, the May Day bank holiday will be on Friday the 8th of May to coincide with the anniversary of VE Day. What can you do? So this year it's going to be a little bit different because we are all keeping safe at home, but we can still celebrate with our families. You could make lots of red, white and blue bunting to hang up around your house or your garden. You could make some buns or some biscuits or some cakes and decorate them ready to eat at a tea party. You could have a tea party in the afternoon. Make lots of flags and streamers to wave. You could wear red, white and blue clothes. You could find some recipes from World War II and try and make them. And I've put a booklet on our website with lots of World War II recipes on. You could watch some of the special programmes that are on the TV. And if you go onto YouTube with your adults, you can find lots of videos all about VE Day. There's a really good one which shows everybody celebrating with the King and Queen, and there's others that can show you how to make VE Day bunting. And they are all on YouTube, but you need to ask the people at your house to help you find those videos. And this is a really good one that I found, which shows you how to make VE Day bunting, and it's really helpful. So I hope you enjoyed all of that information, and I hope you have a great time on Friday celebrating VE Day, Victory in Europe. Bye for now. Keep safe, everybody.